Hello viewers, welcome once again to today's lesson. This is the Solution Space, the platform where mathematics is made easy and simple for everyone to understand and enjoy. In this video, I want to treat a new topic with you, and that is perimeter and area of plane figures. As you can see from the board, I've written perimeter and area of plane figures. Okay, so that is what I want to teach you for today. Now, before we go ahead, as usual, I have to do a quick explanation on what the topic is about so that you appreciate the topic and also better understand it. Okay, so when we look at the topic, we have some keywords in the topic. Okay, so we can talk of perimeter and also area and also plane figures. Okay, so we have to know what a perimeter is and also what an area is. When you speak about area, what are you talking about? And also we have to know what a plane figure is. Okay, so I'll take the keywords in there, which is perimeter, area and plane figure, and I'll do explanation on them so that you get a better understanding of it so that we can proceed. Okay, so now let me start with a plane figure. Okay, so when we talk about a plane figure, the simplest way to understand it is that a plane figure is any figure that has no thickness. Okay, let me go over it one more time. I say the simplest way to understand a plane figure is that a plane figure is any figure that has no thickness. Okay, in other words, it's a two-dimensional figure. Okay, and a two-dimensional figure, what that means is that we cannot touch it, it's not tangible. Okay, so we can only see it. Okay, we can only draw it on the board or on a paper. Okay, but when it comes to holding it, we cannot hold it, we cannot touch it. Okay, because it's a plane figure. Okay, it has no thickness. That is what makes it a plane figure. Because it has no thickness, we cannot touch it or hold it, we can only see it with our eyes. Okay, and that is when we draw it on the board or we draw it on a paper. Okay, and that makes it a plane figure. Okay, and I hope the explanation is clear enough. Let me go over one more time so that you get it. Okay, so I said the simplest way to understand a plane figure is that a plane figure is any figure that has no thickness. And when a figure does not have any thickness, it means we cannot touch it, we cannot hold it. Okay, so in other words, it's a two-dimensional figure. Okay, please hope the understanding is clear enough. Yeah, so that is what you need to know about a plane figure. We can only see it with our eye when we draw it on a board or on a paper. Okay, or any surface, you draw it on any surface. Okay, so we cannot touch it, we cannot hold it because it doesn't have any thickness. So that is what a plane figure is. Okay, now when we talk about a perimeter, okay, so we are done with plane figure, let's handle perimeter. Now when we talk about the perimeter of a plane figure, it means the sum of the distance around the plane figure. Okay, so the perimeter of any plane figure refers to the distance around it. When we add the distance around a plane figure, that is what we refer to as the perimeter. Please hope the understanding is clear enough. Let me reiterate it one more time. The perimeter of any plane figure is simply the distance around it. Okay, and when I say the distance around it, I mean the summation of all the distance around that plane figure. Okay, and that is the perimeter. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about area too. Now the area of any plane figure simply refers to the space the plane figure occupies. Okay, so the space the plane figure occupies is what refers to as the area of the plane figure. Okay, so please hope the explanation is clear enough. So we have different types of plane figures. We have a lot of them, which we will take our time and treat them one at a time. Okay, so in this video we are going to handle a particular type of plane figure. Okay, so among the many plane figures we have in this video, we are going to start with one. Okay, and that is a rectangle. A rectangle is a plane figure. Okay, as you can see from the board, I've written a rectangle on the board. Okay, and I know most of you know about rectangle. Okay, so this is the diagram for a rectangle. Okay, so the common properties of a rectangle is that it has two opposite sides to be equal. Okay, so have you seen the mark here is the same mark we are having here, so it means that this side is equal to this side. Okay, so this length is equal to this length. Okay, two opposite sides are equal. Okay, so now let's check this side also. You can see the mark I have here is the same mark I'm having here, so it means this side is equal to this side. Okay, in other words, the length here is equal to the length here. Okay, so this is a rectangle. Okay, it has two opposite sides to be equal. Okay, so having this diagram, this is a rectangle. Okay, so the two opposite sides are equal. Okay, so you can see that having this mark here, the same mark is being repeated here. What that means is that the length here, this length is the same as this length. So if here is 3 centimeter, here is also 3 centimeter. Okay, now I said two opposite sides are equal, so having this mark here, you can see the same mark is being repeated here. In other words, it means the length here is equal to the length here. So assuming if here is 2 centimeter, it means here will also be 2 centimeter. Okay, so that is the basic property that you need to know about a rectangle. Okay, so we are going to calculate for the perimeter of a rectangle and also the area of a rectangle. Okay, so in this video I'm going to prove the formulas to you. Okay, and we have a formula when we are to find the perimeter of a rectangle. We have a formula that we use, and also when we are to find the area of a rectangle, we have a formula that we use. So I'm going to show you how those formulas came about. Okay, then in the next video we begin to use them to solve questions. Okay, so now let me go ahead and do some more explanation on the rectangle. Okay, so now this is a rectangle, as you know. Okay, so now this side is of the rectangle is referred to as the length of the rectangle. So this is the length of the rectangle. So let me write my length there. So we have length. Okay, so this is the length of the rectangle, and I'll represent it by a variable. Okay, so usually we represent it by capital L. Okay, and that is the length of the rectangle. So length into brackets capital L. Okay, so when you see capital L, okay, in this topic it refers to the length. Okay, so that's the length of the rectangle. So now having this side to be the same as this side, it means that when here is length, here will also be length. So I can also put L here. Okay, please hope you agree with me. Yeah, so now, and this side of the rectangle is referred to as the weight. Okay, so here this side of rectangle is referred to as the weight. The same way here is also the weight, because two opposite sides are equal. If here is the weight, here will also be the weight. Okay, so now let me write my weight there. Okay, so this side is the weight. So weight. Now we represent the weight by a capital W. Okay, so W, a capital W. Okay, so W. So that is the variable we use to represent the weight. Okay, so if this side of the rectangle is weight, then it means this side will also be weight. Okay, so I can put W here as well. Okay, please hope the explanation is clear enough and you understand what I'm doing. Okay, so this side of the rectangle is called the length, and the length we use capital L to represent the length. So that's why I've written length into bracket L, capital L. Okay, and this side of the rectangle, okay, so the vertical side of the rectangle is called the weight. Okay, so and the weight we use capital W. Okay, so I've written weight into bracket W. Okay, so now I'm saying that knowing that this side of the rectangle is the same as this side of the rectangle, because we said that two opposite sides of the rectangle are equal. So if here is length, then here will also be length. So having L here will also be L, okay? L represents length, okay? And here, if here is weight, then here will also be weight, okay? Because we said the two opposite sides are equal. So having W here will also be W, okay? Now, let's go ahead and now find the perimeter of this rectangle. Okay, now don't forget I've explained to you that the perimeter of a rectangle, in simple terms, it means the distance around it. Okay, so when we add all the distance around the rectangle, it gives us the perimeter. Okay, so for us to get the perimeter for this rectangle, it's going to be this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Okay, so the summation of the size of it. Okay, so the distance around it, when we add all the distance around it, that gives us the perimeter. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the perimeter of this rectangle. Okay, so let me do it from here. So perimeter, so I hope you can see from here. Okay, so my perimeter, so I'm writing my perimeter. So perimeter of the rectangle that we are talking about. Okay, so perimeter into brackets P. Okay, so equals to, I said, is the distance around it. Okay, so when we add all the size of it, that gives us the perimeter. Okay, so now let's start from up here. This is L, so this side is L, plus this is the weight, this side is weight, so plus the weight. Okay, plus now this side is length, so plus the length. Okay, and plus this side is weight, so plus the weight, which is here. Please hope you agree with me. Nothing difficult about it. We are just adding the distance around the rectangle, and that gives us the perimeter. Okay, so it is this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Okay, we are using the variables. Okay, so here is length, so this length plus here, which is the weight, so plus this W. Okay, plus here is also length, so plus this L plus this weight. Okay, so that's why I have L plus W plus L plus W. Okay, so now from here we did algebraic expression, so we are going to apply that knowledge here. I've taught you algebraic expression in the previous video, so if you don't know anything about algebraic expression, just search for the previous videos that I've done. Okay, I've done algebraic expression as a full topic. We've done many examples on it. Okay, we started from the scratch, so search for those videos and watch it. Okay, so from here we need to group like terms, okay, and simplify further. Okay, so I'll group all the L at one side. Okay, so L here, then plus the L which is here, then plus the W comes plus the W which is here. Okay, so we just group like terms. Okay, so now let's go ahead and simplify further. Okay, so L plus L will give me 2L. Okay, please hope you agree with me. L plus L gives 2L plus W will give me 2W. Okay, and this is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, so the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 of the length plus 2 of the weight. Okay, so 2L plus 2W. Okay, so that is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle. So keep this formula in mind. Okay, so and if in any time you forget about it, you can go through the same process, and remember, it's not difficult. Okay, so this is the process you go through to arrive at the formula. So perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2L plus 2W. Okay, where we know that the L represents length and the W represents the weight of the rectangle. Okay, please hope the explanation is clear enough. Okay, so now let's talk about the area as well. Now the area of any plane figure, I said it is the space it occupies. Okay, so don't forget about it. I said the area of any plane figure, in simple terms, it is the space the plane figure occupies. Okay, so now the area of this rectangle refers to the space it occupies. So the space inside this rectangle is what we call the area of the rectangle. Okay, so now for us to find the area of the rectangle, so area, let me continue from here. Hope you can see from here. So area area into brackets A equals to, now the formula for finding the area of a rectangle is simply the length, okay, times the width. Okay, so when you multiply the length of a rectangle by its width, you get the area. Okay, so my area equals L times W, where L is the length. Okay, I can see it's not clear from here, so let me clean it and write it well. Okay, so my area equals to L times W. Okay, please hope you can see now. Okay, so this is the formula for finding the area of a rectangle. Okay, it's simply the length times the width. Okay, so area equals to length times width, and you know that length is the L means length and the W means width. Okay, so this is the formula that you need to have in mind, okay, when we are talking about a rectangle. Okay, so I hope the explanation is clear enough and you understood it as well. I'll come your way again in another video whilst we use the formulas to solve questions on the perimeter and area of a rectangle. Okay, because I said we have many types of plane figures. Okay, but in this video we are handling a rectangle. Okay, then as times goes on we'll handle other plane figures as well. So please don't forget to like the video and also share the video as well. I'll see you again in another video whilst we begin to solve questions on the perimeter and area of a rectangle. Bye bye.